Oops. Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Sharon and Sarah here. Why are our names not showing up? Probably because I have a banner on there. There we are. Okay, so Sharon and Sarah here from Content Sparks. And we have a brand new course for you today, which we've already been getting great feedback on. It is called Mindset Mastery. And it's actually kind of blowing me away how many people are like, oh, thank you so much for doing this course. We love this mindset because, I would say Content Sparks customers in general are very down to earth. A lot of coaches, very that old heart centered. I don't like that phrase, but that's very caring, but down to earth. So woo woo stuff doesn't tend to be very popular, but the mindset stuff is not woo woo. This is really concrete, very actionable. We go through different mindsets for different things. And it's just a very unique mindset course, not your usual one. It's not, one of those money mindset. Okay, start thinking about money differently. But there is a section on abundance. But I won't give it all away.
No, don't give it all away. Before
No.
you jump in, Sharon, I've got to ask you, because you've been avoiding this question from me all week.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest or the significant change that's happened to you in your mindset since you started Content Sparks as a business?
Oh, so many things. Okay. So I would say that the biggest thing came when somebody said to me, I guess I was nervous about doing something, and they said, just stop. They didn't use these words, but I would use these words: stop whining and just do it. It was the stop whining and just do it mindset.
So that would be the problem solving mindset in the course. If you're
Something
looking
like
for
that.
rebranding, stop whining, just do it works perfect on that one.
Yeah, there are certain things you just have to do. You may not want to do it, or you have to figure it out. So there's also the stop whining, just figure it out already mindset. We don't call it that in the course, but you can customize it however you want. Remember, it's white label. And then there's the other one is the get over yourself mindset, which is kind of related. It's kind of related.
Yeah, I think
Also to get over yourself and just do it. And then the other one is what I guess I would call the martyr mindset, which is the also kind of the stop whining, I guess. Oh, I have so much to do. I can't do it all. I still fall into that trap sometimes, but you can delegate. Yeah.
I think the martyr mindset is sort of partial a mindset issue and past sort of lacking confidence and sabotaging yourself. No, I tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for imposter syndrome. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, no, that's we haven't done the course yet. That's October. So save up.
Oh, we'll save that for October. Come back in October. Make sure you like the page and hit the bell on YouTube, because you're going to love October.
Yeah, that's a confidence thing, but they're all related. Mindset affects so many different areas of your business. And, athletes look at mindset, and I don't think there's a coach around who doesn't realize or recognize that mindset has a huge impact on success. Yeah.
I see it with my daughters, because you may or may not know, my daughters do martial arts and they compete at a very high level. My younger one has trouble shifting into elite athlete mode. So her coach has worked with her, and now she grabs her hair, ties it up into a top knot like a Japanese sumo wrestler. And when she does that, it sort of changes her whole stance, and she pulls her face from smiling and happy into a serious face. And in that moment, the top knot and the change of face, she shifts into warrior mode, and you sort of see it happen. And I gotta be honest, it's something that I never expected to see. But her mindset has shifted from being the civilian, being the person by the side, to being the competitor, being the warrior. So, yeah, mindset is so, so important, because without her focusing and working on it, she wasn't competing to her best. And we don't ask them to go out to win, we just ask them to go out and do their best. And she wasn't doing that. And she really had to work hard on her mindset to be able to get into the competing and winning phase.
Yep. So most people recognize that there's something that affects their mindset. And we have a comment from Boyd. By the way, I'm echoing a little out of your speakers, Sarah, at least for me. This says, what mindset for after I just got screwed by a client and left me with debt after prayer, mediation, and journaling for a year before I got
Can I take this one?
Yes, please.
Okay, Boyd, I've been in that position, and it was the credit crunch of 2008, and we'd just done a whole load of deliveries for a huge big company, and they were paying us 30 days, and the total of all of their jobs that we'd invoiced them for was something like $64,000, and they folded their business 2 days after they did that last invoice with us and didn't pay any of it. So I totally understand your mindset, because I should imagine initially you were very much I'm going to burn their house down with a few pitchforks and take some friends with me, to the why me phase. And it is really horrible to be in this situation. And what I'm going to say to you is, leave it to karma. Right, just put it to one side and leave it to karma. And what happened with us was, we knew the directors of these companies, and we have a contract with an international motor company. And there's only so many places you can work where things are delivered, and people ask opinions. And they went to this international motor company to look to get a job, and my husband just said to his friend, the director, "Oh, really?" And then told him what went on, and he didn't get a job. And karma presents you with the opportunities, and it's up to you whether you want to do what my husband did and just point out that this person's unethical and not very decent, or whether you wish to give them a second chance. But the power is all within your hands. And it does take time to shift from the, oh my gosh, I'm going to burn their house down mindset, which was mine for some time, to letting it go and leaving it to karma. Yeah, abundance mindset. And I think the big shift for me was when, believe it or not, it was the priest that married us. He's now since passed away. He said, when you forgive them, you've stopped being angry with yourself. He said, forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It's about telling yourself that you've been angry and now you can not be angry, and you had a right to be angry. And I found that quite comforting. But I think mostly comforting was my husband saying this guy was unethical and not very decent. But, you know, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress.
Oh, that's so true. All right, so shall we talk about the course a little?
Yeah, let's have a look at the course.
Sabrina says she's excited to learn about it, so we need to dive in. All right, so quickly, that's the URL for the new course, Mindset Mastery, and that will take you to this page. Teach your clients how to master your mind. And what's interesting here is, all right, Ray, can I just ask, I'm going to stop for 1 second. Am I the only one who hears myself echoing out of Sarah's speakers? No, you turned your speakers off now, your microphone off.
You can't hear it now, can you?
Because she says it's just me, and I say no. So if I'm echoing and you hear it, no, there is an echo. See, It's not just me. It's not me. Okay. Cheryl says no. Okay, whatever. We're not going to argue about this
2 no's,
anymore.
1 yes.
All right. I'm just going to dive in. So this is the sales page, and actually we're doing a split test. So this is totally aside, something that you should also consider doing in your business. Someone's doing some split testing for me on 2 versions of the sales page. One has this little top bit, which is a WooCommerce generated thing that I can use special CSS code to hide. And the other will just start with this top section. So just to let you know, you may see one version or another. And Victoria said she heard the echo too. So there.
Still free too.
So this is what you're going to see. And then what I'm going to do is go through the actual materials a little and talk about some of the different things that are involved, because while there's a description here, I can show you actually on the sales page, because there's a whole course roadmap. There's several different mindsets we cover in here. We talk about some different benefits, characteristics and benefits, where to focus attention, strategies to nurture the different mindsets, consciously choosing, make it a lifelong habit, and applying the process to acquire each mindset. So let me just go through it because it'll make a lot more sense if I do that. So let me open, let's see, course book, action guide. What do you want to start with? Instructor. You like to start with the slides, don't you?
I do. I really like to have a look at the slides, and
oh, they're opening on my other screen. Hang on a second.
When I look at the slides and see the number of slides, and I know I throw loads out because that's just the way I customize them, it gives me an idea of how long it will take to record. And I can see there's 272 slides there. So I know that this isn't going to be something that I'm going to be recording in 5 minutes. I'm actually going to have to take a little bit longer to record this and put it together. But I will say, totally off on a tangent, that the first module of this, if you're looking at doing a low ticket offer, the first module is really, really good for that low ticket offer. So the whole of it can be then the upsell. So if you're thinking of how can I apply this and have a full funnel of content, you can have the first module as your low ticket offer and the rest of it as the upsell. So it's a really good, meaty first module that will make significant shifts for people.
Yeah.
So back to you, Sharon.
Yeah. And the way I would do this is I love the idea of separating out the growth mindset, because the way we position it in the course is this is the prerequisite for everything else. You have to have a growth mindset, know that you can change, you can develop new skills and change, versus a fixed mindset where everything's fixed in place. And that's essential for any kind of other change, whether it's the abundance or being more creative or having a problem-solving mindset, entrepreneurial. It's the foundation for everything. So that you can pull out and use as a foundational prerequisite for a lot of different other courses too, because people's success in any of the courses is going to require them to have that growth mindset. So that's very much a multi-purpose module right there. And then I actually like the idea of taking out each one. So doing whatever edits and separating them out as mini courses, because they can also be used as a prerequisite or beginning module for other courses. So things like creative mindset, you could have as an initial module and then lead on to more in-depth creativity training. Or same with entrepreneurial mindset. You can start with that and then move on to something bigger on thinking like a CEO, for instance. So, or starting a business. So if you wanted to teach something on how to start a business, you could start with the entrepreneurial mindset. So that's one of the things I love about this course, is it is very flexible that way. But the growth mindset is that first one, the most important. Okay.
Yeah, I think if they don't have that growth mindset, you're going to have trouble doing all of the other parts with the individual. So it makes sense as something that you do perhaps as a group or as a low ticket offer, and then you upsell them into Think Like a CEO, which is one of my favorite courses ever. So there's lots of opportunities to create a really good, profitable sales funnel with this program as the launch pad. And like you say, the creative mindset, you can upsell the creativity and innovation course. And then there's entrepreneurial mindset, of which there's a much bigger, more focused entrepreneurial mindset course. So there's lots that you can do with this. This is a really, really exciting program.
Yeah. And this particular slide just is in the introduction. We'll give an overview so you can see growth mindset. Talks about your talents and skills can be developed through hard work and practice. So that's the mindset they work on there. Abundance mindset is there's enough to go around for everyone versus a scarcity mindset of, oh, everyone else is already so successful. I can't possibly compete. There are only so many opportunities. So people miss out on opportunities. Creative mindset. Oh, and by the way, on abundance mindset, we specifically chose that one in the course to add to the course versus money mindset, because money mindset is a much narrower sort of subset of abundance mindset. It's more than just money that is abundance. Creative mindset, express yourself creatively and foster innovative solutions to business issues. You can always customize that as well.
Or the stop whinging mindset, as it was called earlier.
That would be the problem solving one. Stop whinging and just do it. Face facts, identify a problem, develop possible solutions, and act. So follow a problem solving process. Don't whine about it. Entrepreneurial mindset, conceptualize, develop, and bring to life your own business. So that's a mindset for that. So those are the different ones that the course covers. This is just the introduction I'm looking at. Don't get too excited about the number of slides because this can be nice little mini courses. These are just the learning objectives. Actually, just a side note on learning objectives, because we had a big discussion about this yesterday in a training I was doing for a course creators conference. And we talked about learning objectives and how important they are. So always make sure you look at those and think about the learning objectives for your own course. We've done them for you. You can always adjust them a bit, but you want to make sure that they are measurable or observable. So if something like know the difference between a fixed and growth mindset doesn't really, it's hard to judge that. Recognize the difference. You can measure because you can show someone one and the other and see if they recognize the difference. Or let's see another one. I think we have more detailed ones later. Identify the differences between an abundance and a scarcity mindset. So somebody can actually sit and specify what are the differences, or explain the differences would be another way. So it's really important that you do have that. And if you ever teach a course or look at other courses, make sure there are learning objectives, okay, and outcomes. So there's a whole bunch here.
Yesterday, when we were talking about this, we weren't sure whether the community that we were presenting the training to understood the power of learning objectives. So sorry if I'm teaching grandmas to suck eggs here, and Sharon will jump in as well. When you've got the learning objectives, it helps reduce your refund rate and complaints about your courses, simply because people have a concrete understanding of what they're going to learn and their expectations. So you might say to them, oh, you're going to learn mindset. And they're like, okay. And they have this expectation of mindset being something that you're not doing. So by having the learning objectives in place, you're helping them understand what elements of mindset they're going to be learning and how they can apply that, like the develop an entrepreneurial mindset there. So it's really, really good to have these in place. And if you're delivering it live, to spend perhaps a bigger portion of the time that you've got than you currently do on emphasizing all of the learning objectives and how they help the individual get results. So, for example, there, determine the sources of your scarcity mindset or sources of your abundance mindset. And just having someone think about that for just a couple of minutes can make all of the difference to their outcomes of whether they say, I got nothing from that course, to, oh my gosh, this was really, really great. I determined that I was always abundant at certain times of the year, or I'm always thinking abundantly around certain types of people. But whenever I go to my mum's, I'm always thinking scarcity. And just by having them just focus on that little bit for that fraction longer, it increases the power of your testimonials. Like I say, reduces your refund rates, minimizes complaints. It also minimizes the amount of support tickets you get, just by focusing on the learning objectives and getting somebody to understand the content that little bit better. So don't skim over these if you've got them and you perhaps in the past, I've got to be honest, when I first come across them, I'm like, oh gosh, what are they doing to me? You know, but I really noticed the change in people when they have this as part of their course, because they're not in every single course out there. And I know, because sometimes I dare to buy somewhere other than Content Sparks, and then I have to sit and write learning objectives, and then I have to sit and write action steps, and I just don't have enough time for all of this. So I'd just like to have it in place. Mini rant finished. Carry on, Sharon.
I was just going to point out, it's kind of hard to see on here, but there are instructor notes underneath that also come from the course book. But what we also try and do, which is a little different than your typical instructional design learning objective, because they can be pretty dry, is we try and put in the why for each one of these learning objectives. So, and you might not see them on the slides, but they're in the notes in the course book. So for instance, establish a, I think that one actually is right. Establish a problem-solving process that enables you to face challenges head on and come up with effective solutions. So that's the kind of thing where that's the why in there as well, not just what they're going to do, but the why. Commit to an abundance mindset that allows you to see the unlimited potential in your life. I think in the instructor notes, it says commit to an abundance mindset, gaining confidence in the availability of resources, creating win-win outcomes, and staying open to opportunity. So there's always the why in there that you should think about with your learning objectives too. This is what people will be able to do when they leave the course or during the course. Okay, so enough ranting about learning objectives, because I know you want to see more of the course itself. So the first module you said is kind of the prerequisite for everything else, growth mindset. And you'll see each of the modules has kind of the same structure. So there's a lot of symmetry in here. So the first one is growth versus fixed mindset. What's your default? How is your mindset formed? And then ways to nurture growth mindset. And each of the modules follows that kind of flow. So you'll go through the what it's all about, recognize the differences, look at how yours was formed. So what's a fixed mindset, negative consequences, like procrastination, frustration, etc. So what's the difference here? Let me show you. So obviously I'm not going to go read through all these slides because we're not actually teaching the course today. Look at your default mindset, and then there's an assessment. So there are a couple different assessments that come with this course and a checklist, and I can open that. Let me see.
Oh, that's good. I love a good assessment.
I know, everybody loves those. That's why we did those ones recently. So growth versus fixed assessment. It's in a spreadsheet, but you could load it into any kind of online platform where it's set up to actually score things. And there's a lot of those around. I think Google has one as well. And just it'll self-calculate. So you can just give people the actual spreadsheet so they can play with it, and they'll just put in 2 and it's 0, 1, 2, 3. You just put in different numbers and it will calculate and give totals. And then there's at the bottom, it totals part A, part B, and there's a key. It gives you, you have a strong growth mindset, you have a growth mindset with some fixed ideas, you have a mostly fixed mindset, and you have a strong fixed mindset. And it tells you what that means as well. All right, so that's a very handy little assessment. I am not going to save that. Sorry, I have this extra screen here, which is doing some weird things. I have a portable monitor I'm using. I don't know if you guys read my email, but I'm on the very last day of a trip that I've been on for the last month. And I'm in London in an Airbnb with this lovely beige background. And Sabrina said, Typeform is great for that. Awesome. So that's good to know. Which mindset to pair with content sparks confidence in video course?
I would pair it with the creativity one, because once somebody's got their confidence and they're able to get on video, the next thing that they tend to get stuck with is, what can I talk about? What ideas? And then if they do the creativity, they'll be brimming with ideas. And if they've got the confidence, they'll be on video all of the time sharing their ideas. Maybe it's also the entrepreneurial mindset of showing up in your business and getting on with it, so to speak. I don't know. I don't think you agree with the creativity, do you, Sharon?
I'm just trying to figure out which course is the confidence in video course. Is that live video marketing or on-camera video basics? Which one you're talking about? Because, you've probably changed the name already yourself and don't remember what it was originally called, which is very possible.
I just assumed it was the live video marketing. Is it both? Yeah.
You said both. Okay. All right. No, creativity, that makes sense, but the growth mindset too. So if it's something where you haven't done video before and people need to get confident with that, I'd actually do a combination of things, because I would use the growth mindset and step out of your comfort zone, which is a different course, which is also on special though, because it does go well with this. So see, I'm not going to go off on too much of a tangent. Now, any other comments that I need to show? Nope. All right, let's keep going, because there's so much to cover. So as I was saying, there's kind of a balance with the layout here. So they look at how is your mindset formed. This is really important to know where your beliefs come from. So fixed mindset, fear, negative self-talk, all those different things the course goes through. And then there's the growth mindset, and then action steps again. So every module, as we always do, is broken up so that they're not doing too much at once. That's particularly important with mindset, because it takes a while to change your mindset. And the more little incremental things you can do, the easier it is. And you won't even notice it happening. So you take a look at that. And then I think this is the last one, nurture a growth mindset. On each one of them, there are specific tactics and activities you can do to nurture that mindset. Different things you can do, test it out, challenging yourself, all sorts of different things. And then action steps, where they pick one area, set a goal, pick a couple tactics, test them out, all that stuff. And then it goes into the next one. So that is, like Sarah said, the growth mindset, a nice, small, low ticket offer, mini course that you can do and really see some results. And then I would break it up and have them wait a bit. Love Experienceify to gamify a membership site and keep people engaged through your courses. Oh, I don't know that one. That would be interesting. Do you, Sarah?
Or email Sharon after we finish the live stream and perhaps come and do a presentation and show your membership in the customer group and share what you do, because that sounds fascinating. I've not heard of it, and I would have front row on that live stream, be sitting there asking all sorts of questions, because that sounds really, really interesting.
Yeah, and definitely share the link also in the customer group, because I know a lot of other people would be interested in it. A lot of people have membership sites. Monica, I think it's just you, hopefully, sorry, but can you just try refreshing your browser? Well, you can't hear me, so why am I saying it? Let me put it in the comments. Sorry, I'm just typing in because if you
Whilst
can't hear me.
Sharon's chatting away, and this is, as Sharon's mentioned, a really good low ticket offer. So if you don't want everything, if you just want a smaller something to get out quick and make your money back quick, this is the module you take out and do it with. This is the one that will get you money to develop the full program, or to develop a budget for advertising, or something else entirely.
Exactly. All right, so let's look at the others. Again, I'm not going to go through them all. If there's something very specific you want me to show you on certain mindsets or in the material, just let me know and I'll jump to that. So the next one was the abundance versus scarcity. Again, you can see the flow. How is your mindset formed? How to nurture it. And each of the modules will go through that, which is great to have that, again, that symmetry so that people get used to what the flow is going to be. So you can do one and then a month later do the next one, follow up with people and send them reminders and encouragement. Send those emails out. I think that was another mindset we talked about, Sarah, the send the emails more than once mindset. Don't worry. People actually, that was another thing that really changed for me in the way I was thinking about email marketing, was when I was worried I would be bugging people by sending too many emails. And then I would have people say, why didn't you send this to me again? I don't look at all my emails. I missed that. I missed this special. Send me a reminder. Send me 2 or 3 reminders. So people actually thank me for sending the reminders because, again, I miss emails all the time. I love getting those reminders. And if you already, and I try and filter out people who have already purchased or who are brand new. Doesn't always work cleanly, but it's worth doing. So that's another thing that I had been afraid to do and then started doing, and it made a big difference.
Yeah, it does make a big difference. And all of the professionals email out on almost a daily basis, and they wouldn't do it if it didn't work. And if people were that upset by it, they wouldn't advocate doing it. Yet you do have to have a big shift to sit down and write those emails, schedule those emails, and then sit back and say, okay, I've done that. And brace yourself for what you think are going to be the complaints that just don't materialize.
Yeah, once in a while they do, but very rarely, very rarely. So this is the abundance versus scarcity. You can read up on that. We do give you, I think this course has it. Let me just quickly check. A resource list. Usually we have in the instructor materials a thing of research sources. So this is really useful. And actually, a lot of our customers like to give this to students also because they like to see it. So you can break it up and give them specific resources to read up on different mindsets. This is one that's kind of hidden sometimes. People don't know it's there, this research sources list. It's in the instructor materials in one of the folders. So you can look at some of these and read up on them yourself, because I wouldn't expect everyone to be an expert on each of these mindsets. You need to learn about it. And even if you are very familiar with them, it helps to always do a little bit of research to make sure you're up on the latest stuff, because things do change. And what these particular ones are nice and evergreen. There's nothing that new about the research and stuff into things like growth mindset. It's been around for ages, but you still want to just refresh yourself a bit. So keep an eye out for that. There's always a few little hidden things in here that people forget about. I forget about. Sarah forgets about or didn't know
Oh,
was
yeah.
there before.
One of the things before we had lots of sales pages coming through. So the sales pages in the upgrade pack, they never used to be there. They've only been coming through this last year. And I always used to look for the mindset contents, well, not mindset, but the contents list, because I used to take that and create the sales page from the contents list. And quite often, anything you needed for your sales page would be on that contents list. So when you're sitting there thinking, oh, what do I write about this? It's there in the learning objectives. And what's included? It's all there in the modules. And what does the student get? All there in the student bit. So I really, really love having the contents list. And I know Sharon spoils us so much with what we've got and all the hidden gems there. So if you're sitting there and you're not getting the upgrade pack for some silly reason that you want to write from scratch, then you can use the content list, and it is good. It just takes about 4 hours to write from scratch the sales page, rather than about 30 minutes when you buy the upgrade pack.
All right. Nice little plug
here.
there. Nice plug there for that. Actually, the other nice thing about the contents list is just seeing all the modules right there. I love having the big picture view of things. And that's the way we design courses too. We do an outline like this, and then we figure out the learning objectives and the action steps, and then fill in, okay, what do they need to know for each of these? So there's a whole process involved in designing the courses. But this gives you a nice big picture also, and that's in a graphic as well in student materials, I think, in the overview infographic. So some people like to see it in a graphic. You can open it up. It's in PowerPoint, so you can always edit it. It's also in PowerPoint with just shapes. Whoops, it's on my other screen. Nice travel monitor here. There you go. So that's kind of the overview in a graphic format. So another little thing. Now let's see, what else do we want to look at in here? So that was the scarcity mindset versus abundance, all the different things in there. So you can see there's a decent amount of content even for each one, even though they're smaller little like mini courses. They're not so mini really. And that's why you can pull them out and make them individual ones. So again, nurturing them. I like, okay, everyone's heard of abundance versus scarcity and growth versus fixed. Well, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but creative mindset is something we pulled in here. A lot of people feel like they're not creative, so there's all the benefits of that. I think you've probably heard that kind of thing referred to, but I liked the one that I added because I like it, which is problem-solving mindset. And this is a really important one, not just for people on an individual basis, but for any team members you might have. So people who work on my team all have a problem-solving mindset. If they didn't, they wouldn't last very long, because I don't want to have people who just accept something and say, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. That's the stop whining and just get to it mindset. You have to always be looking for solutions. Everything can be figured out to some extent, even if it's, okay, this has to go.
Or let's set fire to it, which is my favorite one.
Yes, if it's a client, you want to a slightly different solution on that one if the client is the problem. But this goes through actually the different traits and advantages, leadership goals, all sorts of different things, and different traits. All these things talks about the different traits. So people who have a problem solving mindset see problems as opportunities. They're creative thinkers. So that's where different mindsets tie together here, like the creativity one and the problem solving one. Um, they have a process. That's really important. They aren't afraid of discomfort or conflict. They listen to their gut, they go beyond the current problem, and they secure buy-in from everyone involved. So these are all part of it. And you can see how this is different, very different from some of the other mindsets in here, even though they tie together. So if you have team members, actually, this one would work well with any kind of leadership or management or team building courses or managing remote teams. What else have we got? Outsourcing, virtual assistant. It can work for all of those to add that in as well as a mindset element. So I like that one. There's a process in here as well, because why have people just come up with a process? Give them one. Think of a personal thing.
That's really good.
Then there's the last one is the entrepreneurial mindset. And this one talks about myths, various myths, characteristics of entrepreneurs, how to nurture that mindset. It's a nice little module just on that. Now, I was saying this is a good one also to do as part of a course on, like, say, starting a business, growing your business. The thinking like a CEO is a little bit different, so you can balance the two, because our thinking like a CEO course talks about decision making and delegating, so it's different. Sell yourself, stay adaptable, all different things, and then putting it all together. And then we go on to next steps. And that's the end of the course. You recap and you go on to some action planning, some review. And it talks about blocking out space in your calendar in 3 months' time to review your progress. And this is where, if you're doing these separately, you would want to edit something like this, customize it, and maybe have this at the end of each one and say, okay, in 3 weeks, we're going to come back and talk about this. So if it's abundance mindset, come back, talk about it. Where are you? And what's the next step? And you can stay flexible about what you would teach next. So keep your open minds about how you would use this course in your own business based on your audience and your audience's needs. Okay? And I know you guys know that.
I've got some questions. Can we see the upgrade pack, please? Because I did mention it, and now I want to know what's in it. Well, I know what's in it. I know there's the sales page in it, because you couldn't take that away from me, could you?
I thought you were going to ask me to show you the other assessments, but I can do that too.
Oh, more assessments. Open those up. Yes, please.
And then I'll go to the upgrade pack. Whoops, it's not.
Whilst they're called assessments, we can use them as marketing quizzes. So you can pop these in and use them to generate leads for your courses. So these are really good. And these come in the main pack. They're not in the upgrade.
No, they're in the main pack, in with the action guide, because they're referred to in the activities and the action steps. So in this module on abundance mindset, one of the action steps is to go and take the assessment and do some reflection and other things on it. So it's important to use with the course. Otherwise, if you're not going to use it with the course, then you'll have to adjust it. Or that actually, they can do it themselves and then do it again in the course after they've learned more and discuss it more. Because every time you do something like that, you get new insights. That's why it's good to do things more than once and teach a certain thing like growth mindset more than once. Because you do learn, and people might have done it once and made some progress, but they'll find other areas that they need to work on. right? Don't think that you've talked about growth mindset once in one course and you never need to talk about it again.
Yeah, it's part of the learning process, isn't it? And there's
Yeah.
also a checklist there, entrepreneur skills checklist. Excellent.
Everybody loves a
You would have
checklist.
slipped that past me, weren't you?
Oh, you got to have something that you just sort of discover on your own. So, entrepreneurial skills checklist. Yeah, this is all you can do your own kind of self-assessment here of which traits you recognize in yourself and then think about it. So this you could play with also. I put this into Canva actually, because you know how much we love Canva and
Mm-hmm.
just sort of, and you could try, I'd probably use a template in Canva and do it that way versus trying to import it. Because when you import things to Canva, it doesn't always work out so easily. But I would definitely do this in Canva or just add a background. I know
Yeah.
you do that often, Sarah. You have a watermark
Yep.
design.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it takes minutes to add it in and it all looks branded. And quite often you have people, or I have people that message me and say, how do I get that off the back of it? And I say, why do you want to get that off the back of it? And it's never, I want to print it and use less ink. It's always, I want to give it to somebody.
Hmm.
So it's a really good tool having that watermark in place to stop your content thieves ripping off your content.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because they have it in a PDF, they don't have it in Word, and then
mm,
they don't want your branding. I don't worry as much about someone sharing something small like that, so long as it has my branding and URL on it.
mm,
Because then if somebody's interested, they'll come and look at it. But they should not be taking that off your branding. All right, upgrade pack. You want to look at the upgrade pack.
I do. Module quizzes. Love module quizzes. Joanne says, love the watermark idea. If you've done the challenge, the 5-day challenge, Joanne, you'll see how to do the watermark in that. We've got a little training in there of about 30 seconds showing how to do that. And if it's not in there, let me know and I'll record something and upload it in the group and tag you.
Yeah, you may have to, because I don't remember us doing that in the 5-day. I know we did it in the VIP one, which isn't
Mm,
available right now. Um, yeah, so otherwise, yeah, we might need to do that for the customer group and do a little training.
yeah.
We're going to put together a little training resource page, pillar page or something on all that stuff. Um, so quizzes, you'll see quizzes. Every course platform now that's halfway decent has the ability to load quizzes into it onto an online course platform. So New Zenler, Teachable, those are the ones we use, but pretty much anything should have it. And you can just put in the questions and the answers. And they have what's correct next to each of them. All right. So, like, what's the best way to turn around your scarcity beliefs? And it says gratitude is correct. Now, if you haven't gone through the module, you wouldn't be able to answer it necessarily. So it's good. And then they can go back and look at things. So these are great. These are great at the end of modules to test whether people have learned or let them test themselves. But I know, Sarah, you also like to use them sometimes as discussion questions.
Yeah.
So anytime you can add a live element to your course, you're going to get better results. So even if you have it as an online as a video, which is nice and easy, just have it timed out and say, okay, well, we're going to do a live stream where we're going to discuss it and answer your questions on this date and set it up. And then you can use some of these as discussion questions in there to get your,
I also
conversation going.
they make really good lead generators because you can jump on and do a quick video and say, okay, then I've got a question for you today. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. What's your
Mhm.
default? So here's my quick question. True or false? A growth mindset lays the foundation for all change. Type in true or type in false in the comments. Then wait for a few answers and then, like Sharon says, have the conversation. But then you've got the natural jump into come and take my course. So it's not even something that's ultra salesy or sleazy feeling. It's a natural progression of the conversation that you're talking about the growth mindset, and people are sharing with you what they feel the answer is and where their limitations are. This is all amazing research for your sales page, because people say, oh, I fear this, or I get stuck here, and you're like, oh, and you're getting all of this really great insights to your audience that you can use elsewhere. And of course, like I say, it's a natural. By the way, if you're interested in taking a growth mindset course with me, ping me a message into my inbox, and then you can gauge your audience's receptiveness. And you may get 2 or 3 messages. You may be able to make a pre-sale before you've even got anything up. So you're getting return on investment for your content almost straight away. So I expect to see all of you on live stream, 7 p.m. this evening, selling your courses out there.
Well, let's see, it's 10 to 5 here. So is that 7 p.m. here, or is it in
7
New
p.m.
York,
your
or?
local time.
Okay, wherever that is. If you're in Australia, you have a little time.
Yeah. You
I
can
think.
just tag me. I'm at Sarah Arrow on most platforms except for TikTok. So just tag me and I'll come in onto your live and leave you comments and likes and tell you well done and you're brilliant.
Okay, so that's the quizzes. And then you wanted to show off the sales page copy. So let me find that. That's also in the upgrade pack.
I'm really proud of this. This was a team development from everybody in the Content Sparks team of putting bits in to make it easier for you to create your sales pages, because I write sales pages. I write sales pages for clients. Sometimes they can take hours, and other times they can be really sped up. So you can see there's examples at the top there. There's 4 examples that you can use to attract in your audience. So straight away, you've got a different header to other people. And then there's bits in red, as you can see there, that you have to add the information to. And if Sharon flips through, so there's a bit there that you share your personal mindset story. It's not a fabricated story from the Content Sparks team, but you share your own experience there. And that's what helps your page stand out. And of course, your happy client testimonials that are unique to you and your business. And then, of course, where to add the buy buttons, which is something that always gets me. And you can see there's bits for your course name, more testimonials, and it's all laid out so that your ideal clients feel an affinity for you and for your course. And I'm really proud of the team and helping put this together, because this is a really, really powerful tool. And like I say, when you've got this, it takes 30 minutes to put your page together. Whereas without it, if you're in a real flow, you could probably get it done in 4 hours. So this saves you so much time.
And once you have something like this set up, so get yourself a template in whatever page builder you like to use, whether we're using Thrive Themes and Thrive Architect. I also use Lead Pages still a bit. Some people love Beaver Builder and Elementor, and the list goes on. But you need yourself a good landing page builder of some sort or designer. And once you get something set up that you really like, and you can hire people to do that, design it, use that as your template for every course, and then use the sales copy as your starting point. All right. And fill in your story and stuff. So it's worth doing that and getting it right. And then you can test and tweak it. I said in the beginning that we're actually doing split tests now on various things on our page. So when you go to, so I was saying, when you go to our sales page for this, for Mindset Mastery, you'll see either this or you'll see this. we're split testing, hiding it. So you want to do that too with all your stuff. And what's nice is when you have your course done and you've edited it and you have the bulk of it done, you can play with more of the marketing stuff. You'll have the time to add more insights, play with the marketing, make changes to your course. You just free up so much of your time. That's one of the great things about having this. And I just realized I have not shared the URL for the course. Mindset Mastery should be relatively easy to remember. So contentsparks.com/mindset mastery. That is where you'll find the course. Please let me know if you have any other questions in here. I've been kind of following along, but we're talking a lot. I don't see any other ones. Boyd, please remember to just share that link, hopefully in the customer group. I know you're over on YouTube watching this right now, but I'm pretty sure you're in the Facebook group, our customer Facebook group. Make sure you share it there or let us know. Anything else that we missed? Sabrina is over on YouTube, said Typeform. What else? All right. Actually, it's interesting. There are a lot of people. I'm on StreamYard, so I'm multi-streaming to our Facebook page, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And on this particular occasion, usually most people are on Facebook. Most people are on YouTube. Isn't that interesting? What do you know? Okay, are we all set? Any other questions? Anything else? My Apple Watch is telling me it's time to stand up, which must mean...
Remember, you can comment on the post where you're seeing this, and myself or Sharon will come in and answer it, or you can tag us in the Facebook group, or you can tag us on LinkedIn. I don't think you can tag us on YouTube.
I don't think so.
We're on most social platforms under @ContentSparks or @Sarah Arrow. So tag away and we'll come and find you and answer and help you, because I think mindset is one of those foundational courses that everybody should have in their business, particularly if you're looking to grow a curriculum or to grow an academy like I've got. I have nothing in my academy on mindset until now. And my academy's been live since 2015, so 7 years without mindset. So yeah, it's not good.
That is not good. All those different courses. Last but not least, I almost forgot that there's early bird bonus, which is a 5-day challenge kit. Everybody loves these because you can start people off with a little quick start on mindset, introduce them to the whole concept, and so that they recognize that they do need to change their mindset. And then it's a natural sell to go into the course and selling your course. So this is only ever available during the first few days when we launch one of our big courses. So just until Wednesday. So it's like 6 days. All right. So make sure if you're going to grab this, you do it in the next few days. All right. And it's, of course, discounted at our launch price, which is the lowest it ever is. So contentsparks.com/mindset mastery, and I will look out and Sarah will look out for any questions that you have. All right. Take care, everybody. Talk soon.